between the visiting Loyola Sacred Heart Breakers and your Corvallis Lady Blue Devils. Starting lineups, first for Loyola. The sophomore, number 2, Sid Copang. The junior, number 3, Emma Daniel. The sophomore, number 4, Aaron Dahl. The senior, number 5, Cecily Benson. Sophomore, number 6, Hannah Baums. Senior, number 12, Kenna Gunther. Sophomore, number 13, McKenna Round. The senior, number 14, Tessa Burke. The sophomore, number 18, Lucia Hasselbrook. A freshman, number 27, Grace Daniel. And your senior goalkeeper, number 0, Morgan Nicholson. Head coach for Loyola, Stephanie Reardon, assisted by Rebecca Johnson and Ray Guest. And now the starting lineup for your Lady Blue Devils. The freshman, number 2, Francis Carrasco. The freshman, number 5, Kaylin Herbstritt. The senior co-captain, number 7, Kayla Field. The sophomore, number 8, Maria Hickey. The senior co-captain, number 10, Connie Watt. The sophomore, number 13, Christina Wykamp. The freshman, number 15, Haley Lords. The freshman, number 18, Hadley Lords. The freshman, number 19, Molly Powell. The senior, number 20, Kylie Mullins. And the sophomore co-captain goalkeeper, number 22, Ashlyn Nixon. Head coach for Corvallis, David Mullish, assisted by Steve Herbstritt.
Welcome into the Missoula Prep Sports Network's coverage of Missoula, Loyola, Rams, and Breakers soccer. We've got the Loyola Breakers taking on the Corvallis Blue Devils in Game 2. Game 1 would be taken by the Loyola Rams, 1-0 over Corvallis. Jack Lincoln getting the goal with the assist from the one and only Garrett Dial. So nice win for the Rams as we come to the close of the regular season for Loyola soccer. Our officials today on the field will be Mark Fallon and our side judges David Groves and Ben Eulenbrook. Eulenbrook will have the far north end sideline, and Groves will have the near sideline. Rams, the field for the Corvallis Blue Devils goes north to south. My crow's nest, where I'm at, faces east on the west side of the field. The Breakers will have the ball to start out with. They're wearing their scarlet red jerseys. They've got the Columbia blue stripes on the shoulders and the bright white name and numbers. The Blue Devils, they are wearing their white tops with the royal blue numbers and the royal blue bottoms. There's the whistle to start play, controlled by the Breakers, but taken away right away by number 5, Kaylin Herbstritt of the Breakers, or of the Blue Devils. Controlled at the top of the box by the Blue Devils. They'll bring it into the box near far side. Shot to the middle of the goal, and Nicholson, the keeper, she'll let it go by her, but it's cleared out very quickly by the Rams, or by the Breakers. Ball put into the near corner. Whistle, and that'll be offsides on Corvallis. Didn't see the number on the girl. I believe it was number 6, Hannah Baums. That was the one that kept that ball from going in the goal as Nicholson came out, and it came off of her. Dahl will kick it upfield, and now Copang will control it at half field. Feeds it to the middle of the field to Burke. Burke at the top of the box, goes to Copang on the far side. Ball rolls into the near corner. back out to the top to Baum. Baum will center it. Daniel is there. Daniel tried to get a shot on, couldn't. Kopang now settles it in and off the hands of the keeper, and it'll bounce in. Sydney Kopang with 38:49 left. Kopang with the goal. .38:49 is the official time. And we wait for the start of play. There's the whistle, and Corvallis will control. Corvallis going right to left, south to north, as it's fed into the far side, up the far sideline. Battling for it into the far corner is Hasselbrook. Hasselbrook with the good defense. She'll send it up forward and trying to track it down. Corvallis will control it. And on the far side is Benson. Benson trying to control. Corvallis in control of the ball. Fed in, and Round will control it out of the box. Set up the far sideline. Benson tries to control it, but Corvallis' defense will step in and kick it back upfield. Now it's set upfield by Benson. Kopang on the run on the far side. She's already got one today. She'll bring it up the far side along the far box. Sends it to the middle of the field to Burke, but picked up by the Corvallis defender very easily. Kopang now with it at the top. Burke turns around the defender off the shoulder of Burke. Turned, shot on goal, and it'll go out of bounds. Nice job by Bombs. Loyola putting the pressure on to start out with. .37-38. Breakers with a 1-0 lead. And we'll get the scoreboard updated for you here. I apologize, I didn't get that updated right away. Ball back into play. Daniel with pressure now on the far corner. Fed in. Still with pressure is Loyola. Benson now to Kopang, the far side. Benson, and it will be a corner kick. This is one of the great set pieces in soccer, is the corner kick. And taking the kick looks like Benson. Benson with it fed in, off the head of Burke, but it'll be wide of the goal. Tessa Burke is so lethal out there. Goal kick for Corvallis. They'll take it off the far corner. Kicked up and out of bounds, and Loyola will have a throw in on the far side. Burke will toss it in. Daniel will control. Far side, goes back wide, but Corvallis will get a foot on it. Here comes Hasselbrook, lets it go between her legs, slides it forward, and picked up by Corvallis. Number 10, Connie Watt. Watt in control on the far side, feeds it out to the far, up the far sideline now. And with a run, now Hasselbrook will chase down the Corvallis player, far side, fed into the top of the box. Gunther will get a foot on it, but Corvallis will control. And Round goes down. We get a whistle, stoppage. Round will take a moment. McKenna Round. She jumps up. Tough young lady. And the Rams will have a kick. Dahl with it, down the far sideline. Corvallis with control. Benson is in there. Now Daniel. Emma Daniel, just so impressed with her play. Watched her with basketball, with Breaker basketball last year, and watching her develop and get a little less fear and getting very aggressive. Now Benson controls, crosses half field, feeds it into Kopang at the middle of the field. Kopang now to Burke. Burke's got to run far side on the box. She'll run in, shot on goal, it'll go just wide. Corvallis has got to set up their defense. They've got to set up a tight defense to prevent Kopang and Burke to have runs. Benson now is going to be kicked out, controlled at midfield by the breakers. Set to Kopang, flicked on to Baum. Baum not able to control. Corvallis defender will kick it up to the near sideline. It'll roll out of bounds, and it'll be Loyola throw in. Carrasco, the defender for Corvallis. Kopang will throw in. Nice throw to Burke. Burke tries to get a foot on it. Control, she does. Burke centers it just a little bit wide. Benson will run onto it. The Corvallis defender, Powell, there. Benson and Powell fighting for it up the far sideline in front of the Ram bench. Daniel controls now at midfield, sets it to center field, controlled by Watt of Corvallis. Corvallis will send it up the far sideline. It'll kiss the sideline and roll out of bounds in front of the Corvallis bench. Breaker throw in. Hasselbrook will have the throw. Corvallis will control the throw. Daniel sticks a foot in. She'll take it away on the far side. Up the far sideline to Benson. Benson at midfield. Centers it in midfield to Kopang. Kopang has it taken away, but she tries to control. Out of bounds, it will be breaker throw in. This breaker team is tenacious on the defensive side. Throw in, trying to go to Daniel, but controlled by Corvallis. Mariah Hickey, and she'll kick it out of bounds, just about the same spot, and the breakers will have a throw in. Looks like Benson will throw in, flicked on by Burke. Kopang trying to get there, but the Corvallis defense is there. Up to Hickey. Hickey up the far sideline. Hasselbrook is there. Hickey will get around Hasselbrook, and it'll come across the box. Shot on goal. Nicholson is there. Francis Carrasco with the shot. Nicholson with the boot. Nice flick on off the head by Burke. It'll roll out of bounds, and Corvallis will have the throw in on the far sideline. We get a whistle. And they're going to give it back to the breakers. Lifted her foot on the throw. Got to keep both those feet down on throw in. This one will be thrown in. Daniel will flick it to Kopang. Kopang along the far side of the box. Crosses over, trying to center it to Daniel. Daniel at the top of the box, comes across the middle. Daniel is there, but Corvallis' defense has got a foot on it. They'll get it out. Rolling up the far sideline, and Hasselbrook will control it midfield on the far sideline. Up the far sideline to Benson. Benson flicks it to herself. Tries to get around the defender, but nice job by Molly Powell over there. Benson, very tenacious, has a foot on it, and Powell gets out of it. Flicks it back to Lords. Lords upfield, and Hasselbrook gets a shoulder on it, but Mullen will get a control. Ball will roll to the far side, and picking it up on the far sideline is Hickey. Hickey will come up the far sideline, tries to center it, and Hasselbrook will get a shoulder on it. Hickey up the far sideline, rolls out of bounds, and controlled. It will be a Corvallis throw-in. Hickey with the throw. Tries to get it into the box. We get a whistle, and we're going to have a high kick. Looks like it was on Mullen. Nope, they said she lifted her leg on the throw-in, so it will be breaker throw. Throw in to Daniel. Goes back to Hasselbrook. Hasselbrook up the far sideline, out of bounds, and it will be breaker ball. Off the foot, it looks like, of Mullen.
Keep it up, breakers!
Benson tracking the ball down. Now, folks, if you're having some issues with your car, need a little pick me up with the car, need somebody to take care of it, oil change, maybe something very simple, well, get a hold of our friend over at Willie's Auto at 721 Strand. Have him check out your car. Willie's Auto is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Ball back into play. Corvallis with control. They'll come to the near side, and we get a whistle. And this one's going to go against Corvallis. Herb Street shaking her head as it could have been against her. She was the one trying to get control of the ball in front of the breaker player. On the free kick will be Dahl. On the near side, Dahl will send it upfield. Daniel tries to get a head on it to flick it. It'll roll past the Corvallis defenders, but getting a foot on it, rolling it back into the box for the breakers. Tracking it down is Dahl on the near side of the box. She'll kick it out of bounds. It'll be a Corvallis throw-in with 29:40 left in the first half. Here's the throw-in. Comes down the near sideline. Kopang right there. Kopang's got a foot on it. She's going to get by the defender. Upfield. She's got Burke on the run on the near side. Burke will have it. She'll come upfield. Crosses over. One defender there. She's going to go in deep to the near box. Stops. Deflects. We get a flag and a whistle, and this is going to go against against the Breakers on Burke. She was using a lot of body to keep the ball away from the Corvallis defender, and she'll set up in front of the ball, 10 yards out. There's the kick. Centers it in midfield, but Benson's got a foot on it. Flicked onto Daniel. Daniel back to Benson. Benson lets it roll between her legs, picks it up on the far side. She'll dribble in, feeds it to Kopang. Kopang will let it roll out, and it'll be kicked out of bounds on the far side. And we've got subs for the Breakers. Badarudin, I can tell, and let's see, Benson's coming off, and Bomb, Badarudin, and 23, that would be Giselle Huffman. Throw in, Huffman will control it, we get the whistle, and it looks like Corvallis will have the throw. Our head official today, Mark Fallon, he is making sure that the technique is correct on these throw-ins. That's the 4th time we've had a whistle on a throw-in. There's the throw-in. Daniel is there, tries to feed it up to the far sideline, and it's going to be controlled by Corvallis. Now Hasselbrook will control it. Fed to the middle of the field. Burke flicks it on for Daniel, but it's going to go out of bounds and into the bench as Huffman kind of gets out of the way as the ball comes right at her. 27:40 left in the first. Breakers lead 1-0. Kopang with the goal at 38:49. Out of bounds, far side. Daniel will throw in. She's got Burke there as well as Huffman. The throw is to Burke. Daniel will center it into the middle of the field. Badarudin is there. The keeper will come out. Ashlyn Nixon is the keeper for Corvallis. Hasselbrook out of bounds into the Breaker bench on the far sideline. Breaker's bench is on the south side of the field, and the Corvallis bench is on the north side of the field, just past midfield on either side. Here's the throw in by Corvallis. Kick back upfield by the Breakers, trying to control it. Burke is there. Burke with happy feet. She's got it. Kopang with a run. Defender's there, wrong side of the defender, and it'll be kicked back to the goal line. Is it going to touch the goal line? And it will be a corner kick for the Breakers. Set piece. One of my favorite parts of soccer is the set piece. The corner kick. It slows everything down and lets people set up.
Put it in, Breakers!
So here comes the kick. Kopang with the kick. Set in and defended by Corvallis. It'll roll out of bounds, and Kopang will have a throw-in here now. She'll throw it in about even with the corner of the box on the south side near us. Throw in, Burke trying to flick it on. She does get a head on it. Now she gets a foot to settle, but good thought to go to Kopang. Kopang was not ready, and it goes out of bounds. And these two girls, they have a sixth sense about themselves, know where each other are on the field at all times, and just inside of each other's head. It's really great to watch them play. This one's going to be flicked on to Burke. Burke controls it near side. One defender gets a foot in there, pushes it out away from Burke. Burke and the defender. Burke with a foot. Corvallis will control. Kicked up field by Kopang. Gunther is there. Gunther sends it back upfield. Stopped by Corvallis. Controlled right in front of me here by Carrasco. And once again, Kopang's got it. Kicked away. Picked up by Corvallis. That's number 13, Weidkamp. She'll switch fields to the far side. Corvallis with the control. Bose has it. No, that is number 7, Fields. Out of bounds. It will be a Corvallis throw-in. Throw-in on the far side, controlled by the Breakers, but Corvallis picks it up very quickly. Breakers are heavy on their defensive side. They need to push up. Red needs to push up on the field. And it'll roll out of bounds. Far side throw in. Looks like Hasselbrook will have the throw. There's the throw to Daniel. Controlled, though, on the far side by Mullen. Mullen will flick it back. Now in the feet. Daniel will control it. Comes across midfield. She's got Kopang on the run. Kopang off the shin. Picked up very quickly, but Kopang with a foot on it. Kopang, she's got it. Now she's running up the near side. Kopang up the near side of the box. She's got two runners in. She'll set it into the middle, but it'll be picked up by the keeper, Nixon, very quickly. Nixon will throw it out to the far side to get it back into play. It'll roll up the far sideline and out of bounds. Breaker ball. Daniel will throw in. She's got Burke and Huffman or Newman down there. Daniel will control, flick down into the breaker end. Hasselbrook trying to control it. She's got Mullen there. Daniel wants to switch fields. She does. She's got Bodaruden. Bodaruden flicks it back, but Corvallis controls. In the middle of the field, at midfield, controlled by Lords. Lords switches fields to the far side. Corvallis with lots of time. Daniel steps up to put pressure on, and it's flicked up ahead to Hickey. Hickey gets it up to Mullen. Mullen back to Hickey. Burke will step in front of it, though. Flicks it behind herself. She's got Kopang on the run. Kopang has two defenders to beat. The defender will run it down. Kopang is there, though. Off the knee of Kopang, out of bounds, and it will be Corvallis ball. The throw in by Weidkamp goes back to the defender, Lords. Lords wants to switch fields, and she does. Goes to the far side to Powell. Powell will control it, has time. Now she'll send it up to the far sideline. Hasselbrook for the Breakers, though, is there. She'll flick on. Sends it upfield, but Corvallis' defense is there. Up the far sideline. Round with a head on it, but it's controlled by Hickey. Hickey has it taken away and wanting to switch fields, and she does. Kopang's got it at midfield now. She's got a runner in Bodaruden. She's also got Burke there. Kopang with the flick, crosses over, but it's taken away by the defender. Dahl out of bounds at midfield. It'll be a throw in for Corvallis, and now we've got subs for Corvallis. We'll get you the subs. 20, 10, and 7 coming off, so that would be Mullen, Watt, and Fields. Coming on, looks like 6, which is Criddle, 9, which is King, and I believe that is a 14 in Reynoso. Kopang has it in front of us, gets by the defender, kisses the line. She will run up the near sideline on the approach. She's got Burke ahead of her. Burke is on side, fed into Burke. Defender is there, will kick it out. Bring it upfield very on her own. Taking her time is Weidkamp. Weidkamp's going to push it up the far side. Daniel is there, takes it away. She'll tap it out of bounds. Throw in for Corvallis down the far sideline. Hasselbrook will control. Tries to send it back up and will go out of bounds off of the Loyola defender in Weich. Not quite sure if that's a 14 or 11. I need her to turn around so I can see. Corvallis will control, though. Off of Burke, out of bounds in front of the Breaker bench. Don't have my normal spotter with me, so I'm trying to get this on the go. That one's going to be thrown in. We get a whistle, and they say that the Corvallis player lifted her foot up on the throw-in. Waiting for a ball. Now they get it. Looks like Hoffman will throw it in. Corvallis will control it on their end. 19:57 left in the game, in the half. Breakers lead 1-0. Corvallis feeds it up the far sideline. Round tracks it down, stops, turns. It's going to be controlled by the Breakers. Round's going to push it upfield. She'll flick it on to Bodaruden, up to Kopang, but just too much in front of Kopang. It'll be kicked out to the far sideline. down the far sideline and out of bounds in front of the Corvallis bench. Here's the throw in. Down the far sideline, controlled by Corvallis. Daniel is there at midfield on the far side. Corvallis will drop it back. Now it'll be sent up down the far sideline. Hasselbrook is there. Hasselbrook trying to get the ball away. Hickey takes it. Hickey up the far sideline. She'll place it, and it will be wide of the goal. Corvallis getting some shots on goal. 18:52 left in the first half. Breakers lead 1-0 off a Sid Kopang shot. Goal kick out to Daniel on the far sideline. Daniel and Hickey. It's going to go off of Hickey. Daniel, and it will be a throw-in by Grace Daniel. So Grace will pick it up. Far side, just above the 18. We get a whistle. And they say that Corvallis pushed off. And the Breakers will have a free kick. They're going to bring the ball up just about in front of the Corvallis bench on the far side. Here's the kick, trying to center it. Controlling is Grace Daniel. Now Hickey takes it away from Daniel. Daniel and Hickey fighting for it at midfield, turning now. Emma Daniel will take a poke at it, and she'll get it away. Sends it upfield, but the defense of Corvallis will flick it back, and Hickey's got it now again. Grace Daniel. Emma picks it up as Grace goes to the ground. Midfield, Corvallis in control. They've got time on the far side. Now fed up the far sideline. Hasselbrook steps up, puts a foot on it. Burke will flick it back to Daniel. Daniel wants to switch fields, and she does. Nice job by Weidkamp. Weidkamp has done a phenomenal job back there on the defensive side for Corvallis. Hickey now down the far sideline and running up on it. We're going to call that Reynoso. Reynoso slips. Hasselbrook will take it away. Lots of pressure on the far sideline by Corvallis. Hasselbrook and Reynoso going at it now. Drop back to Hickey at the top of the box and fighting for it. And it'll be cleared out. Burke gets a foot on it, but taken away by Corvallis very quickly. Excuse me. Flicked up. Burke has it now inside the circle at midfield. Burke with a shoulder. Player goes down. Burke will continue to have control. Burke with time. Sends Kopang, but it'll be too much, and it will be a goal kick as it rolls over the end line. 16:36 left in the half. Breakers lead 1-0. Goal kick. And it looks like we've got substitutions as Benson and Bombs comes back in. The goal kick right to Burke. Burke gives it to Kopang. Now back to Burke. Burke turns. She's at the top of the box. Benson has it. Benson will turn and shoot. Just wide. Picked up very easily by Nixon. Nixon will throw it out down the far sideline. Hickey trying to control, but Grace Daniel is there. Grace and Hickey go at it. Off the foot of Daniel, and it'll go out of bounds. Corvallis throwing on the far side. I have to track down my throat lozenges here, folks. Apologize, losing my voice. It'll be a throw-in on the far side. Nope, it's going to be a free kick, and Benson will take it. Right in front of the Breaker bench on the far side. Set in, but defended nicely. It'll be kicked back upfield into the Breaker portion of half field. Round will track it down. Round sets it up to Benson on the far side at midfield. Reynoso pokes at it, and she'll control on the far side. Tries to flick it to Hickey, but Hickey did not get a foot on it, and Daniel will control. Daniel at midfield sends Burke. Burke has the defender take it away, and the defender will kick it back up. Grace Daniel with a foot on it. Stepping back up is the Corvallis defender, and here's Tip. Daniel now comes to the near side to Baum. Baum has it taken away on the run. Baum turns, tries to switch fields to the far side, and sending it back in. Gunther is there with a foot. Now again, Gunther with the deflection. Try to get it upfield. Benson trying to control it. King and Benson. Benson takes it away from King up the far sideline. Reynoso is out there now. And that is a number 11, not 14, so that is White. Kopang, she's got it on the near side. Lets it roll between her legs. Feeds it to Burke at the top of the box. Back to Kopang. Nice set. Kopang outside the box. Shot, and it's deflected out. Nixon, and it will be a goal kick for the Breakers in the near corner, the southwest corner. And they're going to have Benson take the kick this time, which will put both Kopang and Burke in on the opportunity. So Benson sets. In motion are the girls. Kick is on. Kopang, Burke, I should say, with the flick over the top of the bar. So close. Great set by Benson out of the near corner, and Burke there trying to get the flick in off the head. Goal kick very quick. Kick back upfield. 13-18 left in the half. This was going to be shot from way outside by Burke. Nixon will control. Looks to the near side as everybody's bunched up on the far side, and she'll kick it to the middle of the field. Hickey is there. She'll turn. Up the far sideline and out of bounds. It'll be a Breaker throw in front of the bench on the far side.